Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Thank you very much for tuning in. Wow, well this is a collective reading for all signs. It's a general reading and it will be for the week of April 14th through April 20th. So we are in Aries season, Aries season, and it's only through this Saturday, because then we go into the sun season, solar return of Taurus. And I got to tell you, that's a pretty big change, and there's reasons for it, which I will talk about in this collective. What I like to do for those that are new, welcome, always welcome, welcome returning. Thank you very, very much for supporting my channel and for helping me see the growth. It's everything, and it cannot happen without you, and I love and appreciate you for it deeply. I'm going to do the heart little, I hope that's, yeah. It's okay, and then the gloves. Okay, so the gloves represent energy, color, something that I'm fascinated with, energy in all forms. Color, of course, being energy, vibrational influences that make us feel a certain way, right? And so I correlate this with the energy centers that reside in our bodies, several different places. They're known as the chakras, and they absolutely help us to be our whole, complete, full selves. And so what I do is start with the chakra of the week, or I'll do it for the month. I have done all of my April readings. If you have not been able to see those, please do check those out. And I will be doing and starting actually the May readings in about another couple days. Ironically, it's just everything is just going by so very quickly. But I start with the chakra check that Spirit wants you to know about. And then on the particular card, it will express a beautiful saying. I call it a mantra to help you utilize this particular chakra area to the best of your ability. Because when you are feeling the full capacity of this energetic aspect of our bodies or placement or wherever it resides or whichever card comes up, I say every day think and do a meditation on all of them. It's remarkable. And if there's a feeling of restriction or blockage, the saying on there therefore helps to kind of alleviate that and rid that from your body. So I love it. I put it behind my back. It's very, very casual, low-key, type of setup here. However, the meaning and the messages are every bit as important as a psychic and intuitive tarot reader who does receive messages and channeling all the time and will share them with you as I read them to you or as they come through. In addition to the message I receive through the tarot that I'll be reading as well. The first message will be this beautiful. This is so beautiful. I love Spirit so much. I mean, Spirit is everywhere. It's a part of all of us. We're all in this together aspect is why I love the collective as well. And it represents the heart chakra. So I wanted to wear the pink gloves because it represents heart. And because we are in the last hours of the full moon in Libra, which is known as the pink moon, which is all about heart and love and relationships and balance and just Venus ruled, right? So the same time yesterday on the 12th of April at 8:33 Pacific time where I am, and of course different times throughout the states and the world, this is the first and only full moon that'll happen in 2025. And yes, it is in Libra. And at the very same time, and this is what really just, even talking about it, I just feel so happy. Venus, the ruling planet of Libra, and Taurus went direct yesterday. So it's been a long, long time. It's been a longer time than normal. It happens every couple of years that way. That Venus was in retrograde. And there was a good full month, I would say, of February, that it was the shadow period prior to it going retrograde, which started on March 1st. That has completed, but I will say that the shadow period now supposedly will be completed. In other words, it continues to build up its momentum as it's now facing direct, right? And that's just been a day, not quite a day. And you'll notice it and feel it. But honestly, this is momentous for me. I have 4 placements in Libra. We had the Mercury retrograde that went direct last Monday, and I did a collective for that. If you haven't seen it, please do sponsor me and do watch that and like and subscribe and do what you can. I'm building this channel. I'm getting the subscriptions I need. I'm going to monetize. It's going to be everything because I've always had this as a passion, and this is the time. With all planets going direct, which is what I was going to get to as well, for every one of us, it is an absolutely beautiful time to believe in everything that you feel. And the whole idea of full moons, like yesterday's Libra moon, or any month we have a new and a full moon, is to really shine a light, to close off things that just haven't worked, and relationships if you need to, of all kinds, obviously, start new things. Every ending begins a new cycle for a new beginning. So this is happening. I feel it in my bones, in my energy, in my heart. It feels so good. And I feel like Libras, Tauruses ruled by Venus are mostly affected for those of you watching that, or any of your placements that might be in that way, as well as air signs in general, which are, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And then the earth signs, which are Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. I mean, because the next moon is going to be the new moon on the 27th, which is Taurus. And once again, we start Taurus season on the 19th, which is this Saturday. So a lot of different kind of energies, but this beautiful feeling of, well, fiery energy now with Aries, right? And still that momentum. And we've got Mars, the ruling planet of Aries, that's been in Cancer, changing signs on the 18th, just the day before Taurus season starts, in Leo. I mean, this is very, very powerful. Mars fully appreciates being in Leo. So you're going to notice, like the Leo traits, that there's more socializing. There's more necessity within or without to be around people and to be noticed and to shine in some way. Leos are the leaders of the zodiac, with the other 2 fire signs very close at hand, and especially Aries being the very first sign. A lot of attention with Aries, though, and that'll continue on, and we'll talk about that in another collective and throughout the month readings. But I'm putting this together. The weekly collective has more insight about astrology, so it lasts a little bit longer. But I'm getting to the whole heart aspect because it's so, so perfect. And the feeling that I picked up on prior to doing the readings, I always have a little conversation with everybody that I'm about to do a reading for, and this being the collective. And I said, no, it's definitely about pink today. It's all about the heart, both residing and meaning the heart. Okay, so the saying on the back, this is the 4th chakra. 4th is about stability too. This may really make sense to a lot of you who have been going back and forth about conversations, and difficult ones, and sometimes, ones that have to happen with a loved one, with a work partner, with a family member, getting through the harder part so that you can get to the other side, finish it off, and feel stronger and more connected than ever, feeling more open-hearted and more loving, more compassionate, forgiving, accepting, all the beautiful Venus traits. Money enters in more. If there's been a setback or a delay with that, it definitely affects finances. Well, we're just about to, reach tax season here. So that's happening for everybody across the board. That's another collective aspect. The 4th chakra, divine love fills my heart. I hear the song of the universe, the one song that is mine to sing in this life. I am whole. I am healed. I receive and radiate loving kindness. Now this is, even speaking these words when I do every week with the collective and every monthly reading, it absolutely helps to resonate and energetically allow that chakra to just feel it and just be completely whole and complete. That's the words coming through. I just absolutely love this for today. I love it for this week. I love it for the remainder of the year, because there will not be another Venus retrograde. I can promise you that. But might I also add that there have been one retrograde after another. And once again, Mercury happens 3 or 4 times a year, right? That was in the sign of Aries, then it went back into Pisces. Venus is in the sign of Pisces right now too. Pisces is in the North Node position because that's the next and has started the series of eclipses, right? For the next 18 months. Pisces is love and compassion and selflessness and creativity and joy and just romance and just all the beautiful feelings that you can feel personified. So please let me know if you're feeling any of these on any degree, because I felt it so much, and I was just wanting to kind of be at home after work yesterday, which has been very slow, and we know that's picking up now. And I was with my cat, and he's been unusual, and a lot of animals have been, and he's my beautiful son, you know, he's my family member. And I started to play with him a little bit yesterday, like I used to do all the time, but I've been so inundated and so many things going on, right? Like, I don't even need to tell you. You all understand that on some level. And that's clearing up as well. We can absolutely move forward now. I started playing with him, and he has not come up to sleep with me in almost 2 weeks. And this is very rare and very different at night. And guess who popped up in there last night? And really what it was about was this, he needed this connection as well. I have definitely been remiss in that's not the word, but I have not spent the time. I spend time with him, don't get me wrong. I come home every chance I get because I work nearby. But perhaps you understood this and are feeling that with your animals as well. This is also a time when people want to adopt and they're considering it, or some animal just shows up on your, your porch, and you're like, whoa, interesting. Okay, let's consider this. Okay, so if remember I said that, all right? Very conducive energy. So along with this beautiful chakra information, I always wear a crystal that will help infuse the reading. And for the heart chakra, it's going to be the beautiful, well, I'll tell you the exact name of it, but it's on this card that represents the impact of the particular crystal with the heart chakra, and it is the green avertine. And there's other ones as well, but this is the one that comes with this beautiful set that I have, and it explains it, and it all correlates. It's all kind of part of the matrix, if you will, and it's a beautiful stone, and I know there's many different forms and types, but I am definitely going to put that in the brown, holder. I have 2 necklace holders that hold these crystals, and it, like I said, it infuses the reading, and it just brings that much more heart to this reading. And I love and appreciate all of you for being here to begin with, and appreciate your support more than you probably know, but I will continue to let you know. So we're wearing this. The words associated with this on this beautiful card says trust, compassion, and healing. There's so much healing that can take place when you've opened your heart and you've found the ability to forgive, whatever that means to you as well. Forgive yourself, forgive others. That's a pain and suffering that we probably feel far more than the person that we're upset with, right? And I've had many things that I have forgiven and I don't have that emotional trigger with, but I don't forget. That's our mind does that if we're able to remember things, which is a blessing in itself, right? That's a whole nother story, but absolutely love this. Green avertine is great to attract abundance by holding a deep love and trust for myself and the universe. And trust is so important. We have to basically, really, when you think about it, everything is on a trust basis. And we wake up thinking, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to get, this done, and this client's coming in, and I'm going to do that, and da-da-da-da-da. A lot of times it happens, but do we really know that? Not so much. I was shown in the last 6, 8 plus 10 weeks of retrogrades that were one after the other that basically none of that actually occurred as I wanted. It is absolutely about being open-hearted, accepting, and flexible, for heaven's sakes. But this too has passed. So I'm going to set these down here and let you know that today's reading is going to be a little different. I like to change things up. I'm doing the 6-card layout, and it's going to be past, present, and future with the clarification. But then I'm going to finish with a 1-card catalyst, if you will, for the week for every single sign, okay? It's quick, it's simple, but it also can have an impact. Hopefully you'll resonate. And if not, make sure that you're watching your sun, your moon, your rising ascendant sign. I say Venus and Mercury. I mean, I've got a series coming out that explain everything you need to know with those 5 planets as far as compatibility, relationships. I'm huge on relationships. I'm going back to that. That's what these retrogrades have done for me. Going back to basics, things that really, really affected me and lured me from a very young age to even want to read or study about astrology or numerology and all the beautiful mystical mentions that I talk about in Marianne's Mystical Mentions. But I am using this wonderful deck called the Gill Tarot deck. I've had it for a long time. It's simple, but I like that because we'll read this and I will read this and you will watch, and I will then read the individual card that I got this deck, just last year. And it has a specific saying as to what the meaning is. And I'm going to let it do it for me today because there's so many different meanings that can come from any individual card depending on their placement and where they lay, which is why I like to clarify it. But on this particular deck that I have, which is called the Neoteric Feminine Tarot, it says it right there for you. So no questions asked, whether it's upright or reversed. So I have shuffled these. I always ask for clear and concise messages, and I pray that everybody receives them in the highest good for themselves and everybody involved. And moving along, it is going to be, like I said, the 6 card layout. I will lay them out and then I will read them when I'm finished and explain what I see and feel from them and what it could mean for you. Now, this is, like I said, a general reading, but a lot of times, it's pretty spot on with what's happening topically in this moment, in our world. So as a collective. So the first card is going to be the recent past, and you have reason. Now, this is the Queen of Swords, the full moon that we are experiencing, because it's not been 24 hours, like I said. Pretty perfect, I would say. That's recent past, because that was just yesterday when this happened. And as I mentioned, we only get 1 full moon and 1 new moon each astrological sign. And this is packed full of beautiful energy. If you're interested in knowing the specifically, I would say, relationship part of your lives right now. And that's such a varied statement. So it's all different relationships. But majority, I would say, a lot of the times, it's about relationships of your special significant other, love, passion, romance. It's a never-ending, never-dying desire, I think, and emotion. Now, maybe the desire, is not as hot and fiery at some point in life, but love perseveres everything. It's so very, very important. As an air sign, there's a lot of thought that's going into things. You can bet your bottom dollar about that. This is the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras. If you've known them, if you have that in your chart yourself, you know that most everything you do is done by thought, and a lot of thought, sometimes way too much thought. Just wanting to learn and grow and communicate and express yourself on all levels, communicative, but also written, definitely artistically, creatively. It's definitely straightforward. This is what I feel. It can be tactful. I would say it is many times with air signs, but it's not going to be all a bunch of fluff and stuff. I mean, it's going to be, this is, for better or worse, this is how I feel. So if you want to know, the emotion may not be there as much as it would be coming from a water sign. Certainly a fire sign can be very passionate, as we all know, right? And with this energy of Aries, it's been an interesting time, I'll tell you. I write down a lot more than I have. It's journaling. It's just working with my guides and my intuition, and that's going to be so strong for all of us with the North Node in Pisces for quite some time, and it's very much a gift. And it's just the universe saying, we need you and want you to really fully understand and feel these gifts that you have, these intuitive hits are really, really there for your benefit. And if you listen and you feel and you allow that, it'll just take you exactly where you need to be. And all you need to do is ask and then wait. Because it is still like everything building up. It doesn't mean everything's happening now because, Mercury and Venus went direct. No, but it's definitely, and then with Taurus season coming at the weekend, it's the feet on the ground. Let's be practical. Let's just be, let's be sensible. So many wonderful, like I take a deep breath, just feeling it, just really needing that to happen now, and things starting to just kind of move forward again. It's just a great feeling. So that's for everybody. So yes, there's definitely Libra energy, Aquarius, or Gemini. We have Jupiter in Gemini right now through June. It's then going into Cancer. We'll have conversations about that. Gemini is a mind. It's Mercury ruled. It's like, wow, let's do stuff. Let's make stuff happen. I'm a mutable sign. I'm open. I'm very accepting of new things and ways to express and learn and teach and show others and have fun and laugh and, just the freedom of really making choices and making them be heard and networking and for wanting a new job, or when we're interested in something, creative, we want to start and try it. Start asking, start talking to friends, start looking things up, make that effort and that, momentum build for yourself. This is the present energy, and you have strength. Well, there's the Leo. Okay, that's the Leo card, everybody. There's the 8, the infinity symbol, but 8 is power in numerology. It's definitely abundance. It's prosperous. I feel like a lot of things that were tied up financially, and we're hearing a lot of things collectively as well. I'm not a politician. I'm not going to bring up anything of that nature other than to say that there's things happening. We're feeling it. I'm feeling the rumblings, both personally and then, as I know what's happening outside of my world, and tuning in a certain amount. I recommend not overkill on that. It can be hard on your energy, absolutely, but it's up to you to balance. This whole Libra thing is balance too. And when you feel that balance, it's a lot easier to cope with things, knowing when to just shut things off, allow yourself recharging time, if you will. Strength, yes, we have strength that we never give ourselves credit for a lot of times. Think of what's happened in the last 5 years alone. It's phenomenal to think. And I've been thinking a lot, because I wanted to, Libra, once again, I'm, cardinal. I'm like, let's keep moving. Let's do stuff. Or I can't be, if I'm not doing something, then something's wrong, right? That was my mindset for so many years and decades, but that's not actually true. And that's really becoming so clear to me. And that feels good to know, that when I allow the stopping and the resting and the internalizing, like has been going on, it was kind of forced basically, it has opened my eyes and my heart so very, very much. Perhaps you can relate to that. Let me know, please. But this is beautiful. This is allowing you to really step forward with your strength now and speak in the ways you need to speak and recognize you are enough and you need to be heard, and it's important to do so. The combination of the air and the fire is phenomenal. It's a beautiful combination. I go into that more with the series I'll be doing and bringing back again with the different signs and their compatibility, because it's a lot. It's a very big part of why we feel the way we do with certain people and not others, and what it is within us. There's no wrong or right. It's just what it is, right? It's the compatibility. And some people are incredibly drawn to people that are polar oppositions. It works, they can see things in others that they don't have, and they're excited and they like that. Other people need to be with people that are more compatible. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of strength coming for a lot of things that you may have been holding back with yourself. I think there's an end to that. I want that for you. I feel that very strongly in this message. Then we go into the future, and you have the Hangman, of course, because that's what's happened for so many of us. And Pisces is the representation of this major arcana card, as is the card Strength, a major arcana. And it's so perfect. Every card so far is exactly what's happening in real time right now. And Pisces is this beautiful spiritual, you know, archetype. And you can see this person hanging upside down, but incredibly at peace and bliss with this huge halo, right? Of just our souls, you know, just speaking out and reaching out and connecting once again, as like I said, the collective, for this very reason of having this reading. And this is the tree of life. This is the understanding. This is the different perspective that we can see things and change our lives completely and radically in a moment, because we see it in a different way. It's imperative that we are open to that. And that's opening our heart to do so. It goes back to the heart chakra. So yeah, if things aren't happening this moment and you feel like they never will, please believe they absolutely will, in the divine timing they need to, and in the way that is best for you. It is a 12 and it represents 3, which represents others and groups and growth and expansion. And it's absolutely beautiful. And Venus being is very comfortable and exalted, which means it's in its best place when it's in Pisces, which is in right now. And I think that's through, gosh, I want to say the early part of May when it goes into Aries, but don't quote me on that date. It wasn't much of a date, but I believe it's in Pisces for a good couple, 3 more weeks. So this is beautiful. This is about, you know, fulfilling your dreams. Your heart feels good. You don't even need anything materialistically. It's just this knowing that you are strong. You have ideas. You want to utilize them and put them into practice and start the ball rolling, as it were. Now we're going to clarify this with the Queen of Swords, and you have, the 5, adaptation. Of course, 5 is change. 5 is, it's challenge, right? It's my life path number. It's my whole understanding from day one. It's constant change. It's not negative. It's just, it's utilizing the strength to know that everything changes, everything transforms. And sometimes you think, I don't know that I can do much transformation. I think I'm at my wit's end. And yet you do, and it works. And you have other people usually in the mix, so they give you this different perspective. You know, it does represent, it's the Pentacles. So this is the part of us that doubts, that has second thoughts. Am I good enough? Am I enough? All the things I mentioned, you know, that we realize with the strength in us to persevere and to continue on. And no, it's just, it's thoughts. It's the things that really can sabotage us so very quickly. But when you feel from your heart and you listen to your soul, and it says, everybody's enough, everybody has something to offer. You know, we do the best that we can with what we work with and what we have. And remembering that, you know, if somebody said something at one point in your life years ago that's still there, this is the time to let it go. Let that go before the new moon, when then you start that new cycle on the 19th in Taurus. During Taurus season, when you ground yourself and you say, okay, this is my new me, my new beginning, right? You can do it every month. Moons have more power than they're probably given a lot of credit for. This can last way past this month or a couple of weeks, but that's entirely up to you. Remember though, a thought is just that. So it can easily change as quickly as you allow it to and you release it to do so. The Strength card clarification is evolution. Wow, Prince of Cups. There it is, right in line with the energy of, like I said, Pisces, Mars in Cancer until the 18th, which is just, 4 days away from now. Change, new, you know, the watery, the element, and that just allows us to be fluid and to be intuitive and psychic and know just, you know, our gifts and utilize them and ask for that and ask for the downloads and ask for dreams to give you answers or whatever it is you need. Ask for a sign, it will come. I love the mermaid. Look to that. It's a beautiful deck. the Gil Tarot. Yeah, the ace, really, just, it's princess, which means it is a messenger. It would be like the page. No, it could actually, well, yeah, I want to say that, and I'm sorry, I don't have the book with me. Pages being the most useful, but I feel like this could also be like a knight. And then it goes to the king or queen. But no, I would say the page, the beginning. It could be the youthful part of you that you want to bring back out again, and you want to just explore, or going back into that area of your inner child. You're like needing to release things that have held you back your entire life, and you're feeling like I'm not allowing that anymore. The Piscean energy of like, let's really be strong and set our boundaries and be truthful and know our strengths, know how we have to stand up for what we really fully believe in. And that's what I'm feeling from this. And it feels fantastic for us, all of us. Then we have the hangman, the Pisces energy. And you have speed. Oh my gosh. And the 8. The 8, it could be the 8 of Wands, I would say, in relation to the number. Fast movement now. Oh my goodness. It's so perfect. Because we have really the Mars retrograde, the going into then the Mercury, then into the Venus, and now it's just everything forward. But that's a long time, and it's an unusual thing, and it's something that we had to be patient about. We had to really reach in and down to our toes for that strength to get through it. A lot of it. I did. Perhaps I'm speaking by myself, but I don't think so, because I'm constantly talking to people through my work and as a therapist, a massage therapist, and just kind of taking notes. And man, it's everywhere. It's a collective. That's why I love this reading for all of us each week, and to see how we're pulling through it, because we always do. It's just sometimes they're easier than others. I see it being easier and quite a bit quicker. So be prepared for that. And as I said, I'm going to now do one card pull for every single sign. And in closing, and just kind of, as I said, the catalyst, and I'll explain and read to you what it says specifically. But I absolutely love this. I love it. It's exactly what's happening in the universe as far as the planetary persuasion, I like to call it, energies that are affecting us. And so, yeah, I'm not actually using this deck, though. I'm going to be using, as I mentioned, the other deck, which is so perfect and beautiful and pretty new, but it is the Neoteric Feminine Tarot. So, for the first card, it's going to be for Aries. Aries, this is for the week of the 14th of April, 2025 through the 20th. And a lot's going to happen in this week. I can promise you that. But we have, oops, I'm sorry, what's happening here? This is crazy. Let me try that again, because for some reason, they're kind of all over the place. I probably dropped them and don't remember. Let me do this quickly for us. And then we'll get going here. And like I said, it doesn't matter if they're upside or downside. Both of them have a meaning. And let's see here. Boom. There we go. Shuffle in here. Oh, they have a really cool feel to it too. I can't explain it. And they've got this beautiful gold outer part. So Aries, beautiful Aries, week collective for you, meaning and catalyst card that's stuck together. We have King of Cups. Okay, there's emotion, there's feelings, but the King is the mature, very, very capable of handling their feelings. Been through many, many things in a lifetime. King doesn't have to be male by any means, but at your top of your game, you've got this covered. You are in control. You are very calm. When you see a rough kind of, watery aspect in front, doesn't faze the King of Cups at all. It could definitely have to be with sharing deep emotions, connections, absolutely about, love for sure. It says wise, diplomatic, balanced head and heart. There's the heart again. Devoted, advisor, and counselor. Sounds like an Aries to me. Then we go on to Taurus. Taurus. Beautiful Earth Taurus. We have the Devil. Now, Don't fear the devil, because the devil also represents Capricorn. That's your fellow earth sign. And there's a lot of Saturn, which is what rules Capricorn, influences happening this week. I didn't bring that up. I try not to do everything. I'm still an aspiring astrologist, but Saturn is our taskmaster, keeps us on track. And there's a lot of interesting conjunctions with Venus and Saturn and Uranus, I believe, and I don't even know, but I can tell you it's very much a part of this week as well. So this is coming out prior to your birthday, solar return, Taurus, to remind you of your strength, to not be fearful. I know you have a lot of very, very strong, beautiful, grounded and sensible energy that you usually can share and, help others with. The reading itself, the words associated for the week say oppression, addiction, obsession, dependency, excess, powerlessness, and limitations. All of which you want to say, that is not me. It's very similar to the Lovers card. You can see the two lovers. It could have had something to do with the relationship. You're done with that. You're finishing that, and you're eliminating that so you can move on and start the best year of your life. Okay? Then we have Gemini. Gemini, collective, all Geminis, your beautiful reading is the Page of Cups. So the youthful, heart-centered, once again, there's a lot of watery energy, as I mentioned, with this North Node Pisces energy, and with Pisces being in Venus now, which is direct. And it says idealism, sensitivity, dreams, naivete, innocence, inner child, head in the clouds. It's very Piscean. Make sure you stay grounded. Make sure you enjoy yourself and have fun, because that Jupiter's there and it's doing lots of beautiful, magical things for you. Love this. Could be a child in your life that's super important, one you want to have, one you've been contemplating having, or a beautiful pet I mentioned earlier in this reading. So then moving on to Cancer. Cancer for the week. The 14th through the 20th, your catalyst card and motion and energy. Ace of Wands. Woo, baby. Cancer. Really? This is amazing and sensual and passionate. And this is a new beginning, and it's perfect for what we're talking about. Now, just a couple months away, you have Jupiter going in your sign, and I've had many, many Cancers because of the Piscean North Node energy. It's really working well with you. It is your other fellow water sign. So I can't even tell you the people that I've known that are Cancers and the luck they're having in certain areas of their life. So keep it going. You've got this. It says inspiration, creative spark, initiative, new passion, enthusiasm, and energy. All the things that may have been lacking, even with the good stuff coming through with the retrogrades, but no more. Take advantage. I love that for you. Leo. Mars going in your sign. You know you're going to feel more vital with that. And you have the Knight of Swords. Bam. Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving energies. It is a messenger. You will have some important, very valid, and very fast-moving energy coming towards you. The words directed with this card are assertive, direct, impatient, intellectual, daring, of course, focused, perfectionist, and ambitious. All of those tied together, some, higher energy than others. You decide, but remember, there's something coming through, and you're going to be hearing about it right away. And that was in line with the 8 clarification card on the immediate future or possible future. So after that, then we have beautiful Virgo. Virgo, what do we have for you for this week? This one's here, and it says the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, well, that makes sense. This is you. This is the earth energy. This is the coins and the pentacles. This is staying stable and not going crazy and being a little bit more frugal necessary, keeping things balanced. It says possessiveness, insecurity, hoarding, stinginess, stability, savings, materialism, wealth, and frugality. Well, like I said, this is the last week and people are all pretty much sending off their tax taxes, and I think everyone's just really been, you know, tightening their purse strings, and there's all the purses that, in reference to that, and that's great. But remember, a lot of people will get a refund, and then you can have a little bit of fun. And in the meantime, you're going to do what you know is best for you to do. Don't hold on too tightly, though. Okay, that's not the best way to handle the currency of life, the legitimate currency. You know, when you give, you receive, and you don't want to put too much of a hold or a block on that. So then we have Libra. Libra, and this was facing upward, but I'm not going to use it because I'm going to push this down under here and shuffle these up again and go like so. And yeah, I'm not sure. I do believe they probably fell and that was going on there. But for Libra, for the week, with Venus going direct now in your ruling planet and Taurus's. So I think there's going to be some beautiful things happening. What does it say? 9 of Wands. Okay, last stand. Persistence, grit, reliance, or resilience, perseverance, and near success fatigue. Any of you feel like that? Can I raise my hand? We're almost there. I never give up. I just change my perspective. And that's where we're at. You hang in there, please. The momentum is building. It is in your favor. The energy is there for you. And 9 is it's a completion, which is what the full moon was bringing to you. And I think you want some of these completions. I think you've created these completions. And we are in a 9 years, so that makes sense as well. So then we go on to Scorpio. Scorpio, your catalyst card is the Chariot. Well, I've been hearing great things about Scorpio too. And once again, as a fellow water sign to Pisces in the North Node position for the eclipses the next 18 months, Virgo in the, South Node, the things we want to get rid of. Positive, 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 very successful, forward moving, movement, perhaps transportation, traveling, vacations, a new car, getting a refund that you've been setting aside knowing you needed to get this car and it's happening. Success, ambition, determination, willpower, control, self-discipline, and focus. Got to have that focus. Number 7. Then we go on to Sagittarius. Love Sagittarius. Jupiter ruled, optimistic, beautiful Sagittarius. Oh, 7 of Pentacles. There's that earth energy again. As we approach, Taurus and the new moon. What are the intentions you would like to have? What is it you're wanting to build upon? Because you're thinking very strongly and seriously about your money right now and how it's being utilized and the investments and all the variables there. Harvest, results, rewards, growth, progress, perseverance, patience, and planning. Maybe building a garden, figuratively or, metaphorically, and definitely a spring garden for sure. But thinking long term when it comes to the beautiful coins and earth energies that represent the pentacles. Then we have Capricorn, and you have the 7 of Swords. Ooh, okay. Well, this is about, I'll read it to you. Lies, trickery, schemes, strategy, resourcefulness, sneakiness, and cunning. The question is, are you feeling that way yourself? Is that something you've been seeing in yourself with the full moon that very brightly showed a very strong spotlight on that? Or are you very clear and aware of somebody who's been doing this to you? Because they're doing it right in broad daylight. And don't let that happen. I mean, you're a very intelligent, resourceful person. And I think you've decided, I'm putting an end to this. Whoever this is, whatever the circumstances, it's not for your highest good. You know that. And you're feeling pretty good about the fact that you do. It's also not staying here, but it could be just new ways of figuring things out, okay? Like you've got 2 swords already down. 5 of them are being carried away. It's like you've got this. You've been to this before. It's not your first rodeo. There are cowboy boots. And yeah, you're feeling good. You're feeling like you have a better perspective, which was what one of the cards was in the main reading. So as your future, making sure that you're aware, okay? Keeping the feet on the ground and knowing that, you can get through and recognize things because it is for your highest good. Aquarius, for the rest of the week, top card is calling to me. Judgment. Oh, yes. And this is the 20. This is the self-evaluation, awakening, renewal, excuse me, purpose, reflection, and reckoning. Yeah, you know, Aquarians, you know you are an air sign. This has already been established. It's something you know. It's very karmic. And this full moon being in a fellow air sign for yourself really brought something to the forefront for you. And it's a decision that you've been thinking about for a while, but you have really good thoughts about it. You know it's time. You know, you're speaking in ways of just rising above and like the phoenix rises from the ashes and starting this new venture, whatever it may be, with great confidence and strength, which came up, as I mentioned, with the, you know, present and the strength card. This is good. This is very, very good. Okay. It's in your favor. You are, you're starting anew. It's a new cycle. And then ending with Pisces. Queen of Swords. Okay. The very first card and the last card. Isn't that something? You're definitely always very, very insightful, very intuitive, very empathic, Pisces. So I feel like you're really going to take on a lot of the characteristics of the energies that Venus, you know, being in your sign will help you with. And that is truth and fairness and justice and, you know, definitely compromise, honesty, just all the beautiful things. It says honest, independent, principled, fair, providing, construction, criticism, objective, and perceptive. Pretty much everything we were speaking of. Starting and ending, I love that, like two bookends. And utilizing your brain, but knowing not to think too much and definitely use your incredible intuitive abilities through this week, like you usually do, Pisces. Things are in your favor, okay? I hope that you'll recognize that. I hope everybody liked your reading. Please do like and subscribe. Help me build this channel. I appreciate you so much. I love you. I want you to have an amazing week. I will be back and starting the new readings, as I said, for May. But if you haven't had a chance to see your April readings, take a check and look at those. And thank you very much. I care a lot about you. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.